Hey everyone, and welcome to the Audit Guidebook. Today, we're diving into what I think is one of the most important steps in the entire audit planning process, defining your objectives and scope. Getting this right at the very beginning, well, it sets the stage for everything that follows. It's absolutely crucial. So let's get into it.
So let me ask you a question. What does a really successful audit have in common with a great road trip? I know, it sounds a little weird, right? But the answer is actually super simple. Both of them need a clear destination and a really well-planned route. Without that, you're pretty much just driving in circles, burning gas. And that's exactly why we put so much emphasis on defining the objectives and scope. Think of it as your audit's North Star. It's that fixed point that guides every single decision you make, making sure the whole engagement is focused, sharp, and efficient right from the get-go.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's like two totally different journeys. On one side, you have the unfocused audit. That's a trip with no map, a recipe for wasted time, missed risks, and frankly, you have no idea where you'll end up. But on the other side, a focused audit. It's efficient, it's targeted, all because you know exactly where you're going. That is always our goal. So to make sure we're on that focused path, we need to get a really good handle on the two key parts of our audit map. We need to understand the what and the where of our audit, and that means understanding objectives versus scope. Okay, first up, audit objectives. The easiest way to think about these is to ask, what are we trying to achieve here? They are the core questions your audit is designed to answer. They really define what you, the auditor, want to conclude when all is said and done. And these aren't just pulled out of thin air. They're directly linked to the organization's biggest risks, its internal policies, and any compliance rules it has to follow. And to bring it right back to our road trip, it's this simple. The objective is your final destination. It's that city you're driving to. It's the whole reason you packed up the car in the first place. So what does this look like in the real world? Well, for a microfinance bank, the objective might be to see if their loan procedures are actually following their own credit policy. Or for an NGO, you might be evaluating if donations are being used for the specific programs they were meant for. And in a manufacturing company, a classic one is determining if the inventory controls are actually working to prevent theft or loss. See how each one is super specific and tied to a major business risk? That's the key. All right, so if the objective is our destination, then the audit scope, well, that's our detailed map. The scope draws the lines on that map. It sets the boundaries. It tells you exactly which departments, which time periods, which systems are going to be part of the review. And, just as important, it tells you what's not included, what's out of bounds. This is huge for preventing confusion down the line. In our road trip, the scope is your turn-by-turn navigation. It's the specific highways you'll take, it's the budget you set for gas and food, and it's the list of sites you plan to stop and see. It is your detailed itinerary that makes the trip real. And in practice, that itinerary has to be crystal clear. You're not just auditing the company. No way. You're auditing its procurement and payment processes, specifically for the 2024 fiscal year. You're covering the ERP and supplier management systems, and you're only looking at the head office and two specific branch locations. This level of detail, man, it's everything. It's non-negotiable for a smooth audit. So, how do we actually create this map? How do we put it all together? Well, thankfully, it's not guesswork. There's a very clear, structured process for this. So let's walk through the 5-step blueprint for nailing down your audit's objectives and scope. The process is really logical and, importantly, it's collaborative. You start by doing your homework, reviewing the company's goals and biggest risks to see what really matters. Then, and this is critical, you talk with management to make sure you're all on the same page. Next, a reality check. You assess your resources. Do you have the right people and tools for the job? From there, you write it all down formally in the audit plan. And finally, you get management to sign off on it before you start a single test. This makes sure there are no surprises for anyone. And let me tell you, investing all this time up front, the payoff is huge. This planning isn't just a box-ticking exercise. It is the absolute bedrock of a successful, value-added audit. It creates focus and clarity for your team, for management, for everyone. And the benefits? They're pretty significant. A clear plan makes sure you're focused on the risks that actually matter. It gives you a benchmark to measure your own success against. It makes communicating with management so much easier. And maybe the biggest benefit of all, it's your #1 defense against the dreaded scope creep. Let's just hang on this for a second because it's so important. Scope creep, that unplanned, uncontrolled expansion of what you're looking at, can absolutely derail an audit. A clear, agreed-upon scope is your single best defense. It's the shield that keeps your engagement on track, on time, and on budget.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about for your own work. Now that you have the tools to build the map, where is your next audit going to take you? Thank you so much for joining us here at the Audit Guidebook. If you want to go even deeper on this, be sure to check out our full Audit for Beginners series, which covers the entire audit planning process. And hey, if you found this helpful, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more practical audit and accounting insights. We'll see you in the next one.